Well, what is going on, everybody? Today I'm doing a small little video on how to sight in a scope on a gun. I'm currently shooting my Savage Axis 30-06. After my successful deer harvest just a little over a week ago, my hit was not where I thought it should have been. And so I'm back out trying to make sure that my gun is still on. I try to be really good about shooting my deer rifle before season, and I did that, and I had it. I always like to make my hit about 1 inch to an inch and a half high at 100 yards, and I had did that, and everything was good. And then I shot the deer, and I actually hit pretty far left from where I aimed. And so it just goes to show that it can be so easy to bump your scope, or something can get messed up. So many variables. So today I'm doing a quick little sight in, how to adjust, how to make little tweaks to your scope so you can be 100% dialed in for the moment of truth. Currently, I'm up here in my new redneck blind, and I am shooting downrange at about 117 yards. I just found a dead tree that I'm actually chopping down this winter, strapped a target to it. That is what I'm going to be shooting at. I've already made my first shot, and as expected, my first shot is about 3 inches to the left, but I'm gonna make a quick adjustment. So my height of my shot was very good. I'm still about a half-inch high out here at 117 yards. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna make an adjustment. So these knobs on top of your scope are your up, down, left, right. So these on the top are your up and down, and typically your scope's gonna say something like 1 click equals 1/4 inch MOA. So basically, if you are shooting high, then you would need to go down, D for down, and 1/4 inch per click at 100 yards. So since I'm at just over 100 yards, I'm just going to use the 100-yard reference. So I'm currently good on the up and down, so I'm going to put that one back. I'm going to undo my left and right, and I'm shooting left, so I need to go to the right. I'm going to go about 6 clicks to the right, because I'm every bit of 1, 2, almost 3 inches. So we're just going to make small adjustments and go from there. So I want to go right. So right is down this way, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I made my adjustment. I don't like to do too much at once. Another tip for shooting at a gun is, let's say you're high and right or high and left. Always correct one thing at a time. So if you're shooting high right, bring it down first. Get your level correct first is what I like to do, and then I'll move it over. Or if you want to move over and then down, but don't try to go down a couple clicks and then left a couple clicks trying to correct your shot. I always just like to do one adjustment at a time. See what we get here. Okay. Well, it definitely went right. Now, something to remember while you're shooting, it can very well be you. So it's not a bad idea to shoot multiple shots. I usually like to shoot back-to-back 2 times to make sure that it wasn't just me, or I didn't just over adjust. So I'm gonna reload really quick. And I'm gonna make another shot and double check that my movement was actually good and not me. From what I'm seeing, I'm actually about an inch to the right now. So if I hit an inch to the right again, I'll probably come back 2 clicks. But my height is still good, so let's put another one on there. Ooh, see? Now that shot was pretty darn close to bullseye. I'm back on the left side of the bullseye. And you can kind of rate yourself how you feel on your shots and how you think it went. I actually felt a little bit better on the second shot than the first, but this is why it's important to shoot at least 2 times before moving your sight, because you might be off to the left, and then you might move right after you moved your sight right after you shoot, but it could have just been you a little bit. It doesn't take very much movement at all to be off, just a good amount at over 100 yards. Right there, I'm maybe a half inch from touching bullseye to the left. So I like where I'm at. I think if I were to shoot one more time, I bet I could hit about exactly where that was. I think I actually have one more shot. So I think I'm going to put one more shot on it, and if I'm somewhere in between the bullseye and what I just hit there, I'm calling it good. And this scope was bumped sometime between when I sighted it in before rifle season and now. And the good news is I'm fixing it now. Then I will have the peace of mind that my scope is sighted in before I put it away for the year. One last shot. All right, I felt really good about it. And that one's got me perfect. I'm about an inch above bullseye. So even though I'm up a little bit, I know that that's me. But I have the left and right back, and my up and down is good. As long as I can take my time and make the shot, this gun is on. So simple adjustments, simple bumps. I think what happened to this gun, I set it up against my blind, and it actually fell over, and that was enough to bump my scope off a solid 3 inches to the left. And because of it, I actually, thank the Lord, my rifle buck was quartering away, but I hit stomach, liver, lung, and even though he didn't go far, had he been broadside, that could have been a totally different story. That was all because my scope got bumped. After that happened, I was just like, well, it's probably okay. It just takes a bump to your scope. You have to be so careful with your gun while you are out and about going to and from stands during the rifle season or whatever you might be. Maybe it's a scope on a 22. It doesn't take hardly anything to bump a scope off. Just something to think about while you are working with your scopes. Again, today was a simple fix for me. It's kind of a different story when it comes to sighting in a gun. I'll have a video on starting a brand new scope on a gun a little bit later down the line. Got a new AR that I got a scope for, and eventually I'll get to it. But today, before I put this gun away for the season, I wanted to make sure that I got this thing back on. I hope you guys have enjoyed this small little video, and hopefully you're having some luck out in the deer woods as deer season is wrapping up. I am transitioning back to fishing, and speaking of which, we have a winter series going on at Lake of the Ozarks. Our next fishing tournament is December 28th. And if you are looking for something to do, a fun way to spend your Saturday, join us at Kaufman Beach, 7:30 to 3:30. And we had 51 boats in our first tournament. It was a whole lot of fun. So if you are a fisherman, fisherwoman, and you got a boat and you love to be out there on the water, come on and join us. It's going to be a good time. But I hope this has been helpful, and I just want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.